Kill or be killed, that is the attitude of the Nigerian military. And the so-called killers here, according to the Nigerian military, are children who have been signed off as insurgents. No, the military did not conduct investigations to come to this conclusion. The only reason for that label is the children come from the bloodline of the militant group Boko Haram. Many are the result of rapes. Those who could not be eliminated in their mother's wombs are massacred later. Our next report telling you more.
A Reuters investigation has brought forward some harrowing details of an internal conflict in Nigeria. The federal government and insurgent group Boko Haram have been at odds for the last 13 years. Neither side has hesitated in getting its hands dirty. In fact, the Nigerian military has taken it upon itself to weed out the insurgents. And innocent women and children are bearing the brunt. The Kokawa Waterhole Massacre is a huge example. Several eyewitnesses have recounted the bloodbath that occurred in the northeastern town of Nigeria. Nigerian soldiers stood over a line of children who were lying face down in the dirt. They wailed for their mothers, with several adults also lying down nearby, including women with infants tied to their backs. Their cries were cut short with bullets. At least 10 children and several adults were shot dead at the waterhole that day. And when the job was done, they were pushed into a pre-dug grave.
You know, we're given orders. We were given the order. We went from house to house and gathered the children and we brought them. We were told to separate them in 2 groups, so we separated them by the borehole. That's where the killing started. We finished shooting them and then we dug a hole on the spot. We buried them there and then we left. If you ask anyone from Kokawa, they will know what happened.
This is just one of hundreds of such incidents. Children have been killed across the region. The estimates given by witnesses add up to thousands of killings. Nigerian soldiers have rescued thousands of women from the insurgent group, only to abort their babies without their knowledge or consent. They've singled out babies and toddlers, poisoned or suffocated them to death. They've rounded up youth for interrogation, only to slaughter them. And those who tried to flee were shot on their backs.
My children also got ill, and they said that they would give them an injection as well. So they took all the children away and gave them an injection. And one of them, a boy, he died in front of me. The other boy was shaking. When I tried to take him, they started beating me. That's how I lost my 3 children. He died in their hands.
This bloodbath is based on a presumption that the children have Boko Haram blood in their veins, so they are destined to become terrorists. And the military is simply protecting the nation from these future insurgents. For some, it's a way to avenge their comrades who died fighting against the Boko Haram. Others have theories that insurgents use the children as fighters, informants, and suicide bombers. There might be some credibility to that. UNICEF has alleged that non-state armed groups in Nigeria have recruited thousands of children, some as human bombs. And Boko Haram has claimed responsibility for some of those attacks. But again, there was no conclusive evidence that those massacred were actually recruited by the insurgent group. Nigerian military leaders have denied the allegations. According to them, such a report is an insult to Nigerians. They see it as part of a foreign effort to undermine the country's fight against insurgents.
Not in Nigeria, not in Nigeria. We're cultural, we're communal here, so everybody respects life. We respect families, we respect women and children. We respect every living soul.
Of course, the Nigerian military will deny any wrongdoing. Intentionally killing civilians in an armed conflict is a war crime. If the killing is done in the context of widespread or systematic attacks on civilians, it is a crime against humanity. But still, many of the troops have admitted their crimes. They have said that they acted on orders from their commanders, that they were merely pawns in a bigger game.
It eats away at me. It really troubles me. But I'm nobody. Even at work, I'm nobody. I have no voice to speak out, and that's why I leave it all to God.
Some have expressed remorse. But of what use is that? Can it bring back the massacred children to life? Can it give any solace to the mothers who lost their little ones? It cannot. So for how long do innocents need to suffer, and how many more need to die for this bloodbath to end?
WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.